Good evening and welcome to the joint meeting of the City Council of the City of Moreno Valley Community Services District, City as successor agency for the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Moreno Valley Housing Authority, Moreno Valley Public Financing Authority, and the Board of Library Trustees. The City Council does receive a separate stipend for CSD meetings. I now call this regular City Council meeting to order on August 17, 2021 at 6 p.m. The Pledge of Allegiance, we can just stand and let's go ahead and do the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Councilmember Marquez.
Here.
Councilmember Cabrera.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem BACA.
Here,
Mayor Gutierrez.
Here. Staff introductions, please.
Pat Haquesnare, City Clerk.
Stephen Quintanilla, Interim City Attorney.
Mike Lee, City Manager.
Brian Mohan, Assistant City Manager, CFO, City Treasurer.
Michael Wolf, Assistant City Manager, Director of Public Works, City Engineer.
Manuel Mancha, Community Development Director.
Erica Green, Acting Parks and Community Services Director.
Captain John Salisbury, Chief of Police.
Battalion Chief Dave Rodriguez.
Thank you. Just a friendly reminder, we do have Spanish translation services in the back if anyone is interested. And then just ask that you be respectful to the people that are at the podium speaking. And Madam Clerk, can you tell me how many speakers we have?
One, Carrie Thin.
Okay. And then just to remind everyone, in order to preserve the meeting decorum, the council and staff will not respond during public comments. We'll respond towards the end. Okay. We'll go ahead and have Carrie then.
thank you, council members. Just a couple of items for tonight's city council meeting. The first is I wanted to thank the city staff and the council members. I sent an email last week about the new Moreno Beach bridge and the fact that if we don't do something about the boroughs crossing that bridge, we will have boroughs in the auto mall and in the Walmart parking lot. So a couple of years ago, residents in District 2 met with the city staff to make recommendations as to how to prevent the boroughs from crossing that bridge when it was 2 lanes. Now it's going to go to 7 lanes. It's going to be too inviting. Those boroughs will be across that bridge in very, very short period of time. They already graze south of Ironwood on the east and west sides of Moreno Beach, and the only thing stopping them from going into the highway are the fences. So please, please consider cattle guards or some sort of hoofed fence guard to prevent the boroughs from crossing that bridge when the construction is finalized. The next event, I just wanted to thank again the city staff and the council members about the Beautify Moreno Valley cleanup on Saturday. I and some of my neighbors were very fortunate to clean up Hidden Springs Park. A couple of notes there. Other than the borough droppings, it was fairly clean except for cigarette butts. And of course, this is high fire season. And if you're going to any park in the city of Moreno Valley and smoking, please do not leave your butts sitting on the ground. They are just too easy to have a fire, especially up in Hidden Springs. The next item was trash pickup. I've had several residents as I move across the city right now as a city council candidate that have been talking about trash pickup and the fact that our city ordinance tells us that we can put the trash cans out 12 hours in advance and they have to be brought back in 12 hours after a scheduled pickup. However, that is not happening because Waste Management just does not have enough drivers. I just want to make sure that city council and code enforcement are recognizing that we're getting notified extremely late, sometimes late in the afternoon of the day of trash pickup or the next day, that green or recycling barrels are not going to be picked up that day. So you get to pull them back in and put them back out. Plus the fact, again, in District 2 specifically, we have the boroughs transferring all of the waste. Sometimes they knock into them. Most animals are colorblind. They don't know the difference between green and red and anything else. So they just knock them over. So anything that city council can do to make sure that we get those trash cans picked up as fast as possible, to include perhaps the Burke, the Education and Business Center advertising those jobs that are needed by Waste Management. Street sweeping, that's the last thing I've been commented about, and that's the fact that it's done twice a month, but the signs say every Monday or every Tuesday.
Thank
And
you.
thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any other speakers, Madam Clerk?
Yes, Bob Palomares, followed by Luis Palomares.
Okay.
Good evening, council, public. First of all, I want to give my condolences to the family of the 3-year-old child that was killed in a house fire on August 8th. I had read it and I said, I'm going to save it till we get to the council meeting, because this is another story of what our police deal with. I mean, they really, went after, like they have the saying, the public before themselves, and they demonstrated that. Even some of them got hurt, and it's not the only incident where they've gone out of the way, beyond their duty. There was an incident this was a while back, maybe a year, at the Riverside University Medical Center, where someone had their battery stolen out of their vehicle. The vehicle had no hood, and there were homeless people. And the officers that are stationed at the hospital, they all chipped in and got them a battery. Those are the things that you never hear about, that they do day in and day out. And I had read about a council member saying that about defunding police. A council member, that's a no-no. Not in this city. You're not going to do it. But I thought of the incident with that child on August 8th, and I said, what if, God forbid, it happened to that council member, his family, and the police didn't respond because they were defunded? What would he think then? Or you've got the opportunity to change your ways and your mind about talking that defund, because these people, like the fire, they do a great job, and they're the first ones to show up. And if you ever need them and you're there and they come, believe me, it's a relief on your face to see them, because they're going to take care of business. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
The last speaker, Luis Palomares.
Luis Palomares, community activist. Well, I agree with Bob. He said a mouthful and quite a bit. And I was in the hospital 2 times, August of last year, so I'll make it a year ago, and March of this year, and the fire department had to go and take me. And they knew exactly what to do. They took care of business, or maybe I wouldn't be here right now, but thank God I am, because I got too many people under me that need me still. Anyway, as far as the council, wow, I believe you're doing a pretty good job, Mayor. I mean, golly, I hate to see you go. If you win that seat over there, wow, it's going to be a big loss for our community here, because we got to keep this train going full force. And there was a lady here at the last council meeting talking about, do it on Sunnymead Boulevard. The new that we want to do a new city, as far as the Nason and for the corridor for the new city. You know what I'm saying. But anyway, I don't know how we can do everything on Sunnymead Boulevard, and you're going to knock down all those buildings. It's going to cost us a lot of money to do that, or refurbish them, because they're a mess. They've been there since the city began. So, and there's a lot of new buildings up there, and they look good, that the ones that are there. But it's not a good idea. And she said, we could do a new one over here instead of over there, but it don't make no sense. We'll be spending more money. So what you're doing, keep on doing it. I think it's a great idea. And it's going to really be something out there. And I believe they're going to put a brand new school right there on the Sunnymead Marino is going to go away. The building will still be there. They're going to use it for something, the school board, but they're going to build a brand new school on that corner of Nason and Cottonwood. And it's going to be really nice, I hear. It's going to be something like the one over here in Edgemont. They build it from the ground up, the ground up. So they're going to build that school, and that's going to look good. Plus, keep on going, and you're going to see a lot more stuff. That downtown area. I hope it comes sooner than later, really, because we can need it, and a lot of people can use it out there. Instead of coming this way, it'll be there for them. They can enjoy the shops and everything else that's coming with it. So I think it's going to be a big asset to our city. And as far as I'll say it again, I'd like to give some good news right sometimes, and just coming to dispute what other people are saying or clear the record. The amphitheater, that's great. I did all the summers over there with the bands listening. It was great. The 4th of July, I'll say it again. I'm doing a commercial right now. It was all great. And that this is council that made it happen, and this staff. So thank you again. My hat's off to all of you. And we don't have to always agree with some, but nevertheless, I know it took a lot to make all that happen, and I really appreciate it. Thank you, and have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Luis.
No more speakers, sir?
Okay. Would any council members like to make their closing reports at this time? Okay, we're going to move to our consent calendar, sections A through E on the agenda. They're considered to be routine and non-controversial and may be enacted by one motion. Each motion is deemed to be a separate motion by each agency and shall be recorded by the city clerk. Any items that you'd like to pull? Anyone from the council? Okay. Okay, A2, discussion. Okay, we'll go ahead and Councilmember Marquez. Mhm.
I'm against it. Visual that's on this application. I don't know him. I've never met him. And I was informed that I could not interview him. Yes. City council member, I was told cannot interview him, but I can ask him questions if he wanted to talk to me. Now, recently I watched a local city council meeting where they had 16 applicants for 2 planning commission spots. All 16 were allowed to speak at the city council meeting with no time limit. So the public got to see who these 16 applicants were. Council had the privilege of questioning them, asking them some questions. That evening, about 3 hours later, they appointed 2 of those 16 for the planning commission. We have one here. Public doesn't know who this gentleman is. And we're going to vote on him. Now, I'm not going to get into the gentleman's background because I don't think it's needed. But I can tell you this. He works for the Carpenters Union. The Carpenters Union has donated heavily in the last 2 years to 2 of my members up here. One for $13,000 and the other one for $24,000. So I know for a fact that this guy's going to get 2 votes tonight. Is it true? Play to pay or pay to play? I hope not. But it sure does look like it. On his application, he says he attended a February 2nd planning commission meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, on the 2nd of February, we didn't have a planning commission. We had a city council meeting. But we did have 2 that month, February 11th, February 25th of this year. So he puts down that he attended that meeting on the 2nd. You're required at least one meeting prior to appointment. The application has a date on it stamped by the city clerk's office. It's not readable. You can't read it. I'm guessing it's June 21st. I believe it might be this year. I don't know. I can't read it. So, we're going to take applications, and if the mayor is going to nominate these and we're going to approve of them, I think we should be able to interview them, even in public, and have a correct application submitted. And if they donate that much money to two of my colleagues up here, I think we should kind of look at it a little closer. So with that being said, and on the consent calendar, which we cannot pull and vote separately, I would have to say no to this consent calendar because for that reason. Thank you.
So we'll just mark it as a no. Okay.
If there's no further questions, I move to approve the consent calendar.
Okay. Motion made by Mayor Pro Tem BACA, second by Councilmember Cabrera. Go ahead and please vote, Madam Clerk. Okay, and it's approved. 3 yeses and 1 no. We'll move to item I, City Council reports. I don't have any of mine. There is one from March Joint Powers Commission, Mayor Pro Tem BACA.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Tonight, I'm reporting on the March Joint Powers Commission meeting that was held on August 11th. The commission approved the appointment of Commissioner Chuck Condor to replace Andy Melendez, who didn't run again for City Council, to the March Business Center Implementation Committee, and also discuss the executive director's recruitment. And we've been conducting interviews, and tomorrow we have the 2 finalists to interview. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. We just wanted tonight, just making another public service announcement as the Delta variant is coming back. I want to remind the residents that we do have masks and also hand sanitizers still that we're giving them away at the Burke and also our 3 libraries. And just a reminder that was actually as a result of the mayor and the city council outreach to a lot of our business groups and also some of our service groups. And all the masks and the hand sanitizers that we have received, over 600,000 units that have been given away, those are all donated from the businesses. So I want to thank the mayor and city council for really going and being proactive and outreaching to the business community and receiving those donations. So we'll serve our community. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mike. All right. This brings us to, wow, this is a pretty short meeting, to our closing remarks. Councilmember Marquez. Okay. Councilmember Cabrera.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening. Buenas tardes to everyone. Good to be back here in the chamber again. A few short comments today. I won't take up the 5 minutes, but first, this past weekend, we had the Community Day of Service. We had a really good turnout. And so I just want to thank all the volunteers, first and foremost, from the community who came out. There was a lot of familiar faces. A lot of the clergy members were out there. A lot of kids. It was really nice what we did this time. I say we, but it was staff with the I forget the name of the game, but you play a song and then they have to name the song, right? So that was really fun, right? The kids had a lot of fun, and I always love seeing that when the families are there and the kids are happy, with smiles on their faces. So that was nice. And then, we went out to the parks. I went to LaSalle Sports Park. So we were out there, shoveling mulch. Mike Lee was out there. Michael Wolf was out. Brian, everyone, a lot of you guys were out there. So really appreciate you all making the time and coming out here on the weekend to help beautify the city. So that was nice. Also, I do want to send my condolences as well to the family of Joshua Cabrera. Just so happens to have the same last name that I have. But he was 24 months old, I believe. He passed away in that fire. And so, that's just terrible. It's a tragedy. But, thank God that our police and fire personnel were there. I believe it was four police personnel that had some some injuries, and they went into the building, and our firefighters were in there as well, and they rescued, I think it was 4 or 5 members of the family. So, just hats off to you guys and your team out there for saving those lives. You guys put your life on the line every single day. So thank you guys for that. Also, this whole week, sorry, gets me a little emotional, but this whole week, Monday through Friday, Caltrans is conducting cleanup throughout Riverside, Paris, Jurupa Valley, and Moreno Valley. Here in around the city, 215 and the 60 is what they're cleaning. A few of the on and off ramps. So that's a huge blessing, because I know that our team and the council has been communicating. Councilmember Marquez and the mayor, just putting pressure on Caltrans and our state representatives, and things are going in the right direction, right? So as long as we just keep working together, and things come to fruition. So this is one step in the right direction of trying to clean up our clean up our city. So our SBA, Rising Stars Business Academy, they had their orientation, so I was able to attend that. That was pretty nice to see the students and the teachers again. So shout out to our SBA. Backpack giveaways also that happened. This was not this past weekend, but the one before at Moreno Valley College. So that one went well. I do want to thank the Lila Project, also Mikey Garcia, for being out there. We had a paletero. It's an ice cream man in Spanish with a little cart. So they put the little outfit on Mikey, and he was out there pushing the cart, which is pretty cool. So that was nice. The kids loved it. Took a lot of selfies with him. So a lot of backpacks were given out that weekend. But with that, I just want to wish you all a good evening, and please stay safe. Like the city manager mentioned, COVID is still out there in full force. So please stay safe, wear your mask, socially distance, and please, please, please get the vaccine if you haven't done so yet. So with that, have a good night.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Baca.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't want to repeat anything that's already been said. Excuse me. But I just want to remind everybody that this Thursday is our State of the City event. And I look forward to hearing from our mayor and hearing all the great things that have been happening. And I don't know, are you going to do for the past 2 years? Because I know we didn't have the State of the City really, sit down, close meeting with all our vendors and our developers and our real estate and all the business community that comes out to support the city. And I hope that if you haven't got your tickets, maybe there might be some left, but I think that it's a sold out event again. And I'm really looking forward to it. And remind everyone that, continue to wear your mask when out in public, use your hand sanitizer, and keep your distance, because we still don't know how dangerous this virus is and continues to be, and it continues to take lives. And until you're affected, then, sometimes that's an eye opener. But I'm a proponent of getting vaccinated. I've been vaccinated, and I did it for myself and for my family and close friends, because I would hate to be the carrier of this virus and hurt somebody that I love very much. So get out there and get vaccinated, and we'll live longer. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Baca. It's very, very important. The Delta is still around and the surge is coming back. That we continue to wear our masks, socially distance, get vaccinated. Very, very important. I'm going to continue to work with the city manager and the staff with our disaster council and looking at that, different types of mitigation and things that we can do. Want to thank the staff as well for all of your hard work during the Community Day of Service. I know it was a lot to put together, and even the vendors, the pop-ups, all of that. Our media team did a fantastic job as well. So thank you for that. Thank you as well, Erica, as well, for your leadership as well with that. My understanding, when I was there, everything was flowing really nicely, and then everyone went to the 2 different sites. So it was really nice to see everyone together supporting a cause. I want to also share my sentiment to the deputies, also the firefighters, and the family that experienced that tragic loss on that day. I remember getting that information in the early morning, and I was just really shocked. And it was just so tragic to hear about a young life that had his whole life ahead of him just taken away. And so I would like to close the meeting in his memory. Joshua Cabrera, we'll go ahead and close the meeting in his memory, and still pray, still pray for his family, that is still in the hospital, still suffering from this. So we'll go ahead and close the meeting and adjourn the meeting at 6:26 p.m. In Joshua's memory.